Hello, everyone. I want you to meet the future of racing, Juan Pablo Vallarta, JP. Hello and welcome. Hey, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Okay, um, Juan Pablo, tell us a little bit of what you do. What are you wearing right now? Because that looks interesting. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am JP. I'm a race car driver, and this is the suit I wear every time I get into the race car. And there's a lot of memories behind the suit. So,
What memories?
um, good and bad memories. There was one time I I was on track and made a mistake, and I decided to cut some grass. And there's also really good memories behind the suit. We got our first podium with this suit, and yeah.
Okay. How did your journey in motorsports begin? What's a moment that you exactly remember that you wanted to race cars?
Um, you know, when I was a kid, my uncle had given me a simulator, and ever since then, ever since the first time I had gotten on that simulator, I just got hooked into racing. So that's just basically been the story. We've done a bit of karting, and now we're into cars. So
What?
yeah,
How old were you when you started driving your first go kart?
I was 13 years old when I first got into a go kart. If you're into motorsports, you would say that's you're a little bit old for that. But then my first time I stepped into a car, I was 14 years old. So
What car was that?
I stepped into an Allison Legacy. I was 14 years old, and that was the first time I did oval racing, and I really love that car.
So now you're 16 and you're doing professional driving. How does that look in your daily life, and how does that feel to be that young?
It it feels nice that I'm at quote unquote high level in motorsports and sports in general, but to me that's not enough. I want to make it to the highest level. And a race week for me would look like from Monday to Wednesday. I'd probably wake up, take a shower, eat breakfast, get some schoolwork done. We do some training, go to the gym, and now we've been doing a lot of swimming. I feel like swimming is really good cardio for me. Um, and once after
Swimming
that,
is good cardio.
I don't know. Swimming is good cardio. You can't lie. That one time I was gassed, bro. I was really gassed.
That time we were at the Carolinas doing workout,
Yeah,
that was a
yeah,
good
that
workout.
was a good workout. And then we'd get back home, eat dinner, go to the shop, come back, come back home, and call it a day. And on a Friday, which would be like a Friday practice, we it would normally look the same up until 2. We'd go to the track, and that's when we really get to business. That's when I have to get into that mentality of, okay, you're getting in a car, you need to lock in, and all the adrenaline is pumping. So um, some tracks are strict on how long you can be out there. Like one
Hmm.
track can give you,
Like for practice and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, like the tracks rent you to the track, obviously. And some tracks have a specific schedule you have to follow. Like
Mm.
for example, at Hickory, the team rents out the track for the whole day. You can show up whenever you want. You can run laps until 8. But
With other people running too, or is it just
uh,
yourself?
with other people, like everybody puts their money in and a chip, and once that is done, you just share the track. So yeah.
So tell me, you are in school. Are you doing in person in school, or are you doing homeschooled?
I'm doing homeschool with Texas Tech University. They have a high school program.
Uh huh.
I really like it. Um, I mean, it could use some improvements, but I really like the program.
Improvements from a university, like what improvements?
Um, one-on-one teacher conferences.
Oh, okay.
That
All
would be
right.
nice.
Like tutoring and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Interesting.
that would be really
But
cool.
you went to high school before, right?
Yeah, I went to high school.
And you did other sports?
I did high school football, and I feel like that's what has given me the work ethic in racing, because I feel like the discipline in football is a little bit higher, quote unquote, depending on what level you're at in racing.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference from racing and football is you have a coach to always push you in football. If you step out of line, you will get punished. In racing, you can step out of line, but you will learn those consequences by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wall over there, you'll hit it. you'll spin out, you could crash, you could flip, and so
So
that's how it
so it's
correlates.
more like a golfer that is doing strokes, and if he misses, they don't have a coach yelling at their ear. When on a football team, if you fumble the ball, you know you're running the
Yeah,
next day, right?
yeah. You fumble a ball in football, you're gonna be running a while. Yeah.
And um, so why racing and not football?
Um, because football didn't really give me that adrenaline or like that rush. I had always been into cars. Our dad is really into cars.
Yeah, he
He
is.
had a Mustang. What year?
1968 Mustang
1968
GT.
Mustang GT. I don't know. It was a
It was a nice
Mustang.
car.
It was carbureted V8, or was it the N95?
It was a V8.
It was a V8. Okay.
Also, the pictures we took when we were little in the Formula One. You remember that
Oh
picture?
yeah. We
Yeah.
can put that picture up.
We'll show that picture in
We
the
we'll
podcast if
we'll
you like.
we'll put that picture up
Hmm.
there. We were always into cars. So when we came to the States, I really liked football, but it just didn't make me full. Racing has always been, we've always watched racing as we grew up, Formula One, NASCAR, all
Yeah.
that good stuff. So yeah,
It's part of our culture every day.
it is part of the
So you
culture.
say came you came to the States. Where you came from? Where were you born?
We were born in Mexico City. You know,
I was born there too, I
I'd
guess.
I'd hope you know where you're born.
He just remembered me right now. Thank you.
Yeah, we were born in Mexico City. I grew up there till I was 8 or 7 years old. One of those two. Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember how old you were.
I can't remember how old I was either.
It was a long time ago. It was.
But
Don't this year we turn
9.
9 years? We
Yeah,
turned 9 years
in
of being here
December
in the
we'd
United
be
States.
9 years in the
Yep.
States.
Okay.
So we moved here, obviously, parents looking for a better life in the States. With with the state Mexico has been like, you'd want to look for a better life here. So
Yeah. And
and it has really influenced me. I feel like it's really put a chip on my shoulder to be better than not only my parents but everybody else back in Mexico and everybody else here, because I don't come here to be mediocre. We come here to be the best of the very best.
I agree.
So that's really how it's influenced.
And trying to be the best. Also in the track, people say that you're the best. I mean, you've won podiums at 16 years old. You have won rookie of the season here at HMP. When you didn't race the whole year, you raced half the year, right? Or
This year?
no, when you were in Allison Legacy, you won rookie of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, we did get rookie of the year.
And what early challenges you faced while getting started in racing? Like, what some challenges that you had?
Racing comes with lots of challenges. Off the top, well, off the top of my head, I have like two or three, but we've ran into lots of challenges. Not just from like the car and the problems the car has, but before that, with the funding and the mental preparation towards it. you know, Racing isn't cheap. Racing isn't free. I mean, it can be if you're at the top level, but
Mm,
racing isn't free. So, the funding has always really been, I wouldn't say it's been a problem, but it's been a challenge, right? So
a good problem.
it's a good problem,
Mm,
and that's been one of the challenges, and also a lot of traveling. Not really being as much as home. I'm still getting used to it, but if it means I get to be in a race car and be out there and kick butt, it'll be worth it.
so you said that we've been traveling. Can you tell the people like where have you been traveling? Like, we're not racing here in Texas. We're racing in the southeast. Can you tell them a little bit more about that?
We've we've moved. Let me rephrase that. We've been racing more in the southeast coast because here in Texas, racing used to be really big. Now it kind of sucks. All those tracks really closed down, and I can't say how they've closed down. I haven't really researched deep into it, but all I know is that racing has moved on in Texas because people just don't have the passion as much here.
Football is bigger here,
Here,
no?
yeah, here you have high school football, you have the NFL, you have other sports that dominate here, but religiously in North Carolina and South Carolina, you will find racing everywhere. Like, I would say that's the heart of racing in the United States, besides Daytona, you know.
Hmm.
Um, that's the way it's been, and that's where the competition really shines. That's where all the talent is. That's where all the NASCAR drivers have shined, and we could go to North Carolina right now and go to a local track, and I bet you we'd find a race car driver. You know, the other day we met Will Power
At
at
a
Trackhouse.
track house.
We met Will Power. Max Papis. We met Max
Yeah.
Papis at Trackhouse
Dad
too.
saw Kyle Busch out of the blue.
Oh yeah,
He was
we
saying hi
we
to Kyle
met Kyle
Busch.
Busch, Brexton Busch.
Yeah, and you didn't want to say hi to Kyle Busch.
Come on.
You?
Okay, no. Uh, that time I was distracted because the team owner Max, you know, the crew chief, he was doing legends at the Charlotte Cookout. But
Hmm.
it was exciting. It was really exciting. They were going at it, dude.
And that just went on his side quest and happened to meet
No,
Kyle Busch.
I wasn't paying attention to my phone this whole time. I was just like watching those cars go by, and I was talking to Memphis, which is my spotter and engineer. I was just talking to him this whole time about like how Max does it, and because the race before we had a really good night. That was my first podium in the late model.
Hmm. I remember.
Yeah, it was lots of fun.
Mm.
Were you there?
I was at the podium, but I had to leave the next day. Remember, you stayed longer.
You maybe. I can't remember.
There's so many races.
Yeah, there's been too
There's
many.
been too many.
Well, we went. Oh no, you didn't go to the Charlotte Cookout because you said you had something. I can't remember. You didn't go to the cookout. I was just talking to Memphis, and I really wasn't paying attention to my phone.
Wait, so you have a crew chief, you have a spotter. Can you introduce everyone to your team, MCM development right there? Can you introduce them? Tell us a little bit about them.
So we have obviously the team, the mechanics, and everybody. The crew chief slash team owner is Max Calles.
And Felipe,
And Felipe, right? His father,
his dad.
his dad.
Family owned business.
Family owned business. Family owned business. They both really get into the car aspect of it, and Max and his dad have always really been nice to us. They've seen me shine at HMP because that's where we met him. You know, Houston Motorsports Park. If you don't know where we're from Houston. Actually, it's like 20 minutes from where we're at right now. That's where we met Max Calles.
I don't see it.
Okay. That's where we met him, and they've just really liked me since, and we've really had that connection. And moving on from that topic, you know, the team owners, we have Memphis, which I mentioned him at the cookout or whatever. He is my spotter slash engineer. He really helps me a lot. He's raced the truck series, the NASCAR truck series, and there's Memphis, and then the mechanic, which is Eddie.
Eddie.
He got carded.
He got carded? What do you mean?
You remember? We had that where he went to the store. Okay, mind you,
Oh.
Eddie's 60 years old.
Oh, I remember this.
He
story,
he wanted to buy beer, and
Yeah. He got carded.
he
And
got
this
carded.
dude's 60 years old. I mean,
60
he looks
years
like a
old.
60-year-old. And he was pissed because this young lady at was it a 7-Eleven?
I don't know. It was a 7-Eleven or
He goes in like, this lady just carded me. And I'm bald. And a beard. White beard.
I'm bald. I have white hair. How did I get carded? And then
he
he
was so
comes back
mad.
to the shop. He was pissed, and everybody's just making fun of him because he got carded.
He came with his 6-pack. He was like, I'm not even going to drink this. It's an insult. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
And that's Eddie. He's really smart in the car aspect to it. And the whole team is lots of fun. And then we also have my teammate Toro Rodriguez. He's a good driver. I really like him, and
He's from Mexico, right?
where is he from? Monterrey.
He's
from Monterrey.
He runs NASCAR Mexico.
He runs NASCAR Mexico. He's actually running this weekend in the.
Oh, wow.
He's at Formula One. They have a Super Copa or whatever.
Oh, in Mexico City?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's
Good luck,
running-
Toro.
Yeah,
Tell him
good luck. Good luck to Toro.
Yeah, good luck to Toro.
Hopefully he does very
We'll be
well.
watching him. Yeah, pretty good guy.
Ferrari's gonna recruit him.
Ferrari. I hope Ferrari recruits him because he is a good driver and he's your teammate. So tell me, how does that work when you have a teammate? Like, do you help each other, or are you competing against each other, or what's that look like?
Obviously, the first person you want to beat on track is your teammate, but I wouldn't say we have a rivalry with him. I mean, I really like Toro. I really like him as a person, he's really nice to be around, and I feel like he's really helped me become as a driver because this kid has lots of experience.
He's
Like,
older than you, right?
yeah, how old is he? He's
I think he's 18.
20. No,
No.
he's 21.
Really?
We talked about it. I was
Oh.
like, you were like, you're
Oh yeah,
21.
he's 21. Yeah, I
He's
remember now.
21
He
and
doesn't look
22.
21. He's like he's 17, 18.
I don't know. Well, I can still call him a kid. This
He's 16 and you're
this
calling a 21-year-old a kid? Come
yeah,
on, man.
this kid has lots of experience. He's done some Formula 4 stuff.
Mhm.
Obviously, I feel like he races every weekend. Last weekend he raced Aguascalientes in the
Oh
Mexico
yeah, he
NASCAR
posted about
series.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he posted, didn't he?
Mhm.
That track looks badass. I'm not
Maybe
gonna
we'll
lie.
run it one day. Who knows?
That track looks cool. And obviously this weekend he's gonna run alongside Formula One. So he's got lots of experience, and it's really good to learn from him, and also the whole team, because we're not the only drivers in the team. Max, he's won a couple of championships. He's really helped me a lot. So yeah.
So you have a good team behind you. You have an experienced teammate. You have a family-owned team, but you're 16 years old, and there might be people that are underestimating you when you step on the track because of your age. How does that make you feel, and how do you turn that into motivation or pressure?
When you mention it makes me feel underestimated, I feel like that really puts a chip on my shoulder to go out there and beat everybody. Which isn't always easy. You think you just go out there and you kick ass, but no, that's not really how it works. You think the day before you say, oh, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna beat everybody, I'm gonna be first in the practice, I'm gonna be first in qualifying, I'm gonna be first in the race, but then you go out there, and that's when you really get that reality check of, whoa, the competition here is not what I'm used to in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So I really need to sit down, lock in, and get to work. And it's also complicated because in the qualifying you only get 2 laps. You get basically half a lap to warm up your tires, and then you've got 2 laps. If you mess up both of those laps, you're done. So you started back. You obviously have the race to capitalize on, but yeah,
What are you
you're done.
strongest at, race or qualifying?
I feel like I'm strongest in the race.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still getting used to the tires in this car, because in this car you don't. It's not like the Formula cars where you just like slowly like creep in. You really have
It's
to
a heavy
man.
car.
It's a heavy car. You have to manhandle it. You wanna come in, wrestle the car, and then out. You wanna wrestle it as well. So that's something I need to get used to, because especially on new tires, if you want to get good at qualifying, you obviously have to buy tires and do that practice.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of money to just
Tires are
freaking
expensive.
tire after
It's not
tire
like
after
you can
tire
go to
after tire.
discount tire and get a new set
Yeah,
of
no,
brand. Yeah.
I just have to learn as it goes. And
Mm-hmm.
that's that's kind of how it's been, and I feel like my race pace is really strong because my driving style is more of a finer driving style than most. So most the first like, let's say it's 100 lap race. The first 50 laps I'll just sit there. I'll stay there and just keep my tires cool, take care of the car. And then at the end is when it really gets, I would say, exciting, because that's when you're like, okay, this race is about to end. Let's, throw the tires out the window, start burning them a little bit. And that's when we start. That's when I start making passes. So yeah.
But 100 laps, I've seen you do 100 laps, and I've seen the other drivers do 100 laps, and it looks like you're not even sweating. How do you prepare yourself for each race physically? I know this is heavy, so tell us
It's
how do you do?
heavy-ish.
Shit, I mean, when you're pulling against
Yeah.
G's, it can be heavy. So
For us, motorsports isn't an ordinary sport where you can go out there and kick a ball. So you don't get that luxury to just go to a track and every day just go at it. So for us, it's more of a workout. You have to go work out. The base of the workout is kind of tailored towards football, because obviously as a football player, that's what I
hmm
basically grew up doing. And you add some stuff to that, like cardio. Like I said, swimming's been a really good cardio for me lately, and I feel like it's really helped me this last race. Like this last race, I hopped out the car. I was like, dude, I could do 50 more. I could do 70 more maybe. Um, and neck training. neck
Yeah,
training.
I've done your neck training. That's not fun.
No,
It's not
it's
fun.
not fun.
It
It's
is
not
not
fun.
fun.
But
We're
I
trying to get a neck like Checo. Like,
I I want this to be full by the end of the year. I really want
Yep.
like I want to go like that, and then everything, you know.
Like
So
your lats, like your lats. Yeah.
yeah, you really have to train the neck. I feel like this car hasn't been that how do I say this? It's
It hasn't squeezed all out of you. You think
neck wise. I feel
neck waist?
like it hasn't really been
But
asking me a lot.
I want you to explain to everyone like the different levels. For example, you're like at the lowest, not lowest level, but you're like compared to Formula One, Formula Four. Explain what the different divisions and how you're gonna be growing into it.
So in the road to NASCAR, there's certain levels. Obviously, where we're at right now is late model racing, and then it goes the Truck Series racing. Actually, no, it goes ARCA racing, Truck Series racing, Xfinity racing, and then NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Below late model racing is Legends, which those cars, those little hot rods. Those cars are sick.
We're trying to get one.
Don't get me started on those. Then you have the Bandoleros, which are basically go karts with brakes. Basically, it's like a tiny car. You just hop in there and then run laps.
Those are very fun.
Those are very fun. But I didn't grow up in the Bandoleros. I grew up doing road racing. This is really like I grew up road racing in the X30s, the go karts.
So why you pick NASCAR and not road racing? Like, do you like more ovals now or?
I feel like oval is more exciting when it comes to all of the race because for me it's more simple than road racing because you just have to worry about two corners. I'm not saying it's like it's easier to a certain point, but then it just puts pressure on you because you have to perfect those two corners or those four, you could call them four corners. You have to perfect those four corners, but for me road racing is more fun to master the track,
Mm-hmm.
not exactly the racing, overtaking. Like, don't get me wrong, overtaking in road racing is lots of fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but when you're in oval racing and you're ripping the outside for 5 laps at a time with somebody else on your inside, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun. So yeah.
So NASCAR.
So NASCAR.
So right now you're pro late models, and what's gonna come next year? I know we are almost at the end of the year. We have 3 races left. We have Hickory, we have Florence.
We have
Yeah, we have Hickory,
yeah.
Florence, and the Snowball Derby. What's next year gonna look like for you?
Um well, let me first start when our dates for the
Go
races
ahead.
are,
Yeah.
We have Hickory Motor Speedway is one of the most legendary tracks in all of North Carolina, The the phrase there is where NASCAR legends are made or whatever.
And you
Um
already got a podium there.
and I got a podium there, yeah,
So
correct.
go on track.
We're racing there the 8th. I'm not sure if it's a limited late model or
I think it's a limited late model.
yeah, I think so too. It's either that or the late model stock. Let me tell you the difference between the limited late model, the late model stock, and the pro late model.
Hmm. I don't
Um,
even know the difference, so this is gonna get good.
yeah, and he's my manager. He should know the differences.
Oh, I'm not a mechanic.
Oh, okay. The limited late model and the late model stock are basically the same car. It's a car that's heavy. It doesn't turn a lot, and the brakes suck. Well,
Doesn't sound safe.
they they suck compared to the pro late model.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll get to that in a little bit. The limited late model is just has a restrictor when it comes to the late model stock. This car has 300 horsepower, which is you say that's a lot of horsepower, but it's really not when it comes to stock car racing.
Mhm.
The late model stock is always same frame, same car, just a different motor. You can either take the restrictor plate out or just change the whole motor entirely. Most people just change the motors because they want to be fast. Um, and again, the brakes suck in the late model stock. It sucks at turning too. And when you compare that to the pro late model, it's very different because in the pro late model, your brakes are really good. It's a really agile car. They call it the formulas of the NASCAR.
Mhm.
It turns really well. And the weird thing about this car is, I've had a lot of trouble doing this, because in the Pro Late model, when you're coming out of the corner, you use the gas to turn the car,
Hmm.
and as a driver, it gets sketchy because I'm not used to using the gas to turn the car like outside of corner, and it gets really sketchy when you start doing it. But once you get the feel of it, you get really, 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 really quick, and that's basically how it is.
And how many horsepower does that one have?
It has, well, this last race, the the Pro Late had 590
So
horsepower.
you went from 300 to having 590. That's a big
Well,
jump.
well, honestly, the race before we had 490.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had 490, but I've never touched the limited late model. I haven't touched the late model stock yet. This would be my first time
Okay. So you think it's
in
gonna
those two
be
cars.
easy but challenging?
I have a feeling it'll be easier, but competition is also going to be tighter because, Toro raced 2 weekends ago. No, it wasn't Toro. It was Ferrer.
Hmm.
Ferrer ran 2 weekends ago, and it was a pack of 30 cars, and he was like 15th. He was ninth. It's and then I saw the qualifying, and it was like first place a 19.102, then second place a 19.108.
So it's
Like
close.
it's really close, and I think it'll be lots of fun to see what the dynamics of the car is. I feel like it'll be easier for me because I'm and when we ran go karts, the go karts, that go kart has really low horsepower. So the fundamental is brake, and then you smash the gas at the apex.
You
If
barely break in a go kart.
oh you barely touch those brakes. You could go out there and run without brakes. In an LO 206, the shifter cart's a different deal.
You like the shifted car, huh?
Oh yeah, shifter carts. We can get into that later.
The Parolin
Let me wait. Where was I?
brakes.
Brakes.
Something about
Oh,
brakes.
no, right. The Pro Late has a lot of horsepower. I think the limited late model would correlate to the go karts with having the low horsepower, and I feel like it'll touch that fundamental I had learned in go karts, and it'll
Hmm.
help me be quick. So yeah.
What about snowball? I know we've been talking about it with lots of people, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're gonna be a snowball." People say that that's not just brutal, but it's also exciting. Tell us about it.
So the Snowball Derby is one of the biggest events of the year in stock car racing.
It's in Pensacola, Florida, by
It's
the
in
way.
Pensacola, Florida, Five Flags Speedway. Um, like I said, it's one of the biggest events of the year in late model and that level of racing.
Hmm.
We will be racing in a pro truck, which I think will be challenging for me, but
It's your
it'll
first time in a pro truck in a big event, by
it'll
the
be
way.
my first time in a pro truck, and those trucks are really tough to drive, from what I've heard. But we're expected to finish in the top five, so
Mm.
it'll be lots of fun.
But what makes snowball different from other events is why is it so
This
important?
The way it works is I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's a whole week, and each day a different class races. So like on Monday, let's say maybe the legends will go out there. On
Hmm.
Tuesday, the modifieds will go out there. Props to those guys. Those cars have 1,000 horsepower. Like that's insane. Yeah, that's a lot. And then the pro trucks go out there, and then the main event, which is the late models, the late model stocks and the pro late models. The field is always really tight in the snowball derby. That's I would have loved to do the pro late, but it's still super tight.
But it's also packed. Like there's what 20 drivers more.
There's more than 20 drivers. I
Yeah.
would say, well, for the modifieds, like I said, there's 50 drivers go out there, and not all of them make it, because the way it works is qualifying. You get Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
You know how there's Q1, Q2, Q3.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. The drivers get knocked out, and those people don't make it to the actual race.
Oh, so let's say if you get out in Q3, you're not racing.
Basically, if you don't get into the top like 30, top 20, you don't get to race.
Wow,
So that's
I didn't know
that's
that.
how it works there.
And I'm the manager.
Yeah, he's the manager. He doesn't know this.
I'm learning as we're
Shame.
talking. We're
Shame on
educating.
you.
Educate. Oh my God, the accent.
Shame on you.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about a little bit about what message you want to give young people who have big dreams, because not every 16-year-old gets to hop in a race car with 500, 400 horsepower, travel to North Carolina, come back, be there. What do you want to tell people who have these dreams but they don't have? Because you didn't have these dreams. You fought for it. You told Dad, I want a go kart. Buy me a go kart, and he kept saying no. But then at the end, he gave up. What can you tell them in order to accomplish their dreams?
Um, everybody out there that has a big dream they want to reach, always chase that dream and do everything possible to chase that dream. I had to bug my dad for like 3 years straight.
I remember.
So he would at least give me the chance to try out in a go
Mm.
kart. So he would take me to the rental karting track. Um, do everything possible to chase that dream, because once you're old enough to not chase it, you will regret it for the rest of your life. You will regret it for the rest of your life. So yeah,
Very deep, man.
I would hope so. I try to feel inspirational.
Interesting. And how can people follow um, this your journey? I mean, not just Instagram, but what platforms they can watch your races and stuff like that.
We're starting a YouTube now. You can go look up Juan Pablo Vallarta 711, and you can either do that on TikTok, you can do that on Instagram or YouTube, and follow and subscribe to everything. Whatever button it is
Yeah,
that you
we
have on that
we, we
screen.
put lives, but also like what are some like streaming services that people not just want to see your races, but they want to see like more about this sport, like flow racing.
Yeah, you.
I remember you mentioned that.
The bad thing about the streaming stuff for stock car racing is that you'll go to a different track and they have different streaming services.
Oh, so it
So
depends on each one.
you can just look on my Instagram. We'll post what streaming service it will be on. I don't guarantee you that it'll be free, but you can look it up and then click on it, and then you'll be able to watch the full race
All right,
and follow the journey.
follow the journey. And finally, what's something you want to tell your fans, people watching, people following you? I know there's people that keep commenting on your posts and stuff like that. And your sponsors, what's something you want to share with them?
I want to tell everybody out there that supports me, likes me, thank you. I really appreciate all the support y'all have given me. All my sponsors, I really want to thank y'all for giving me this awesome, fabulous opportunity, this blessing to be able to get into a race car and do what I love. I want to thank Tire Square. They've given us a fabulous sponsorship. I want to thank this podcast, for letting us come out here and do what we do. I really want to thank everybody that has supported me, even if it's the smallest thing you have done for me. I want to thank you for supporting me. Like, you don't know how much it means to me, my family, my manager, my parents. It'll go a really long way, and once I'm up there, I will really value what you have done, and I will bring y'all up with me. So, yeah.
Cool, man. Well, that's all the questions I got. Thank you for ChatGPT for all the questions. Done.
You can sponsor us, by the way. You can sponsor us.
ChatGPT on the car. Hey, what's the best way to turn? Nah, just kidding. But this is it. If you have any more questions for JP that we can put on our next podcast video, send them to us. Comment them on the video below. We're open to talk about whatever. If you want to learn more about him, on how our management works, sponsors, all that type of stuff. Or if you just want to know what type of hair products he uses, they're not very good because look at this.
You don't want to know what I use for my hair.
Oh, no, don't even
You don't
tell
want to
me.
know what I
You
use for
don't
my
even.
hair.
All right, never mind. Disregard that. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next time.